Why hello, 7th grade. This is lesson 49. Our objective for today is how do you add and subtract mixed numbers? Mixed measurements. A mixed measurement is a measurement that includes different units from the same category. So, like, when we're talking about different kinds of volumes, different kinds of lengths, different times of time, etc. So like this example down here, it has yards, feet, and inches. Those are all from the same category of length. But it wouldn't make sense to be like 2 yards, 5 hours, and 17 cubic inches. That wouldn't make sense. We gotta stick with the same category so we can borrow and steal and things like that. So let's go and get started and see how we can get this to work. Since we're adding, I like to kind of just write those above each other. So I'm just going to rewrite this one below here. Say 3 yards, 2 feet, 4 inches. And then just add. 9 plus 4 is 13 inches. 2 plus 2 is 4 feet. And then 3 plus 2 is 5 yards. Okay. But notice it says add, which we just did. Now we need to simplify. Now notice there are only 12 inches in a foot, and we have 13 inches here. So I'm going to rewrite this as just 1 inch, and then, so it's like 1 foot, 1 inch. I'm going to carry that foot over to the foot category. So now I have 5 feet, but I know that 3 feet is the same thing as a yard. So if I take away the 3, that means there's going to be 2 feet left over. I'm going to move 1 yard up, so it's going to be 6 yards, 2 feet, 1 inch. So these two mean the same thing, but we kind of just want to simplify it down, because why would we say 13 inches when we're talking about feet as well? We want to carry that, just leave that 1 inch and carry the feet on up. And here's another add one. So we're going to add, we've got hours, minutes, seconds. So this is going to be 75 seconds. 79 minutes, and this is going to be 27 hours. So now kind of the same thing. 60 seconds in a minute. So if I take 60 seconds out of this, that means there's going to be 15 left. So 15 seconds, I'm going to move a minute up. So now I have 80 minutes altogether, but I remember that there's 60 minutes in an hour. So if I take away the 60, then I'll have 20 minutes left. And I will move up an hour. And now I have 28 hours. But again, we know that there's the next unit to measure up from hours is days, and there's 24 hours in a day. So I'm going to say 4 hours, and I'm going to move that up to days. So 1 day, 4 hours, 20 minutes, 15 seconds. So sometimes we end up adding the next one up, even though it wasn't, included in that originally. Alright, this is like example 3, and this is where we get into subtracting. And subtracting, we don't have the same problem as far as where we have to regroup. However, we have the problem of, like right here, we're going to say 9 minutes minus 30 minutes. So I'm going to have to borrow from that hour category in order to make that subtraction without going into the negative range. So that's what we're going to start with. Same thing like we normally do. We're going to start on the right and work our way left. So we are going to say this is 7 hours now. And then when we bring hours into minutes, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So really I'm saying 69 minutes minus 30 minutes is going to give me 39 minutes. 7 hours minus 7 hours gives me 0 hours. And then 4 days minus 1 day gives me 3 days. But it seems kind of silly to write 0 hours if there's no hours. Why do we need to write it? So we're just going to say 3 days, 39 minutes. So if there's not 1 there, or if it's 0 of it, then we just won't write it. We'll leave it out. Alright, and one more subtraction. This one's written lengthwise. So I'm going to rewrite it so it's vertical. And I'm noticing here also this is just yards and inches, This is yards, feet, and inches. So I'm going to do kind of like we did earlier here. So I'm going to say 5 yards, 0 feet, 9 inches, minus 3 yards, 2 feet, 11 inches. Okay, so I want to say 9 minus 11. In order to stay in the positive area, we're going to need to borrow, but there's nothing to borrow here, so I'm going to come all the way over here. And I'm going to change that 5 yards into 4. And yards come over here, make that 3 feet, because there's 3 feet in the yard. But now I need to borrow that, so I'm going to make that 2 feet. And then when it goes from feet into inches, there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So kind of that 12 plus 9 is going to give me 21 inches minus 11 inches. It's 10 inches. I have that 2 feet minus 2 feet is 0 feet. 4 yards minus 3 yards is 1 yard. Again, doesn't make sense to write 0 feet, so I'm just going to say 1 yard, 10 inches. Alright, your homework is on page 349. You're going to do the practice set, all the 49s, and 9 more of your choice. But notice, not the 48s. I know that's a normal thing, they do 49 and the 48s, the one before it. But we skip lesson 48, so you don't have to do those. You're welcome to. I'm sure you can do those, but just know you don't have to. Good luck.